we work a lot on cognitive restructuring. We have patterns of thinking. The first level that we start working on is the automatic thoughts, because they're the easiest, they're very situation specific, and they're much more easy to work with than the intermediate beliefs that are much more deep-seated, and the core beliefs, which are very, very deep-seated and have a history, okay? You get into that stuff when you start talking about the client's history and the past and how all of these ideas and beliefs developed. So we want to decenter or distance from unhelpful thinking. So a lot of times, this is what I do in my groups here. They come in and they'll have thoughts, and they'll be glued right here on their forehead. And it's so close, it's covering their eye, they can't even see anything else. So we're trying to kind of do what's called cognitive diffusion. Acceptance and commitment therapy calls it cognitive diffusion, where we want to separate themselves from the thought, create some distance so that they can look at it like this and say, now I see, maybe not, okay? Maybe that doesn't work, maybe that's not grounded. And there are lots of actual cognitive diffusion activities. Has anybody done the milk? Okay. There's, that's all, no. There is one activity in acceptance and commitment therapy, ACT, if any of you guys have heard of it. It's one of the third wave cognitive behavioral therapies, where, you know, we have a word for this beverage, this fluid that we drink, right? And it's just a word, but some people can attach so much meaning to it. And the idea is, if you say the word milk over and over and over and over, it loses its meaning, right? It loses the attachment that we have to it, the meaning that we assign to it personally. And there are lots of other cognitive diffusion activities, like taking the word milk, for instance, or whatever that is charged, and writing it on a piece of paper, and then coloring it, and then stretching it out, and doing all sorts of different graphic things with it, and then it loses its meaning in that way. Or sometimes Stephen Hayes, who's the developer of this model, says, sing it. And so the client is sitting in the room and singing, and then he says, now sing it with Daffy Duck's voice. And they do it, so it loses its meaning. That's cognitive diffusion. That's what we try to do a lot with cognitive restructuring sometimes too.